contribution. Now I would like to speak more about market-to-market relations with Mr. Fabio Morvilli and address the first question that is a very important question in terms of de-globalization. Can de-globalization raise barriers to entry to foreign markets, and how so?
Yes, first of all, buongiorno to everybody, and I'm happy to stay again here with you because I think it's very important. And indeed, the question you asked is an important question. I have to say, sure, the globalization will raise barriers to foreign markets, indeed. Why? Because it refers to the process of reducing economic interdependence and integration between countries. So what could happen in practical way? And we can see here from also from the central part of Europe, from Luxembourg. For example, we could have increased tariffs and trade barriers with some mechanism. The governments could impose higher tariffs, quotas, outright bans on certain foreign goods, for example. And then obviously there will be a higher cost to export for these markets. Then we can have stricter regulatory requirements. Then we can have local content and production mandates. In this case, for example, some countries could require to have a certain percentage of goods or components to be produced locally in their country. And again, we will have higher costs for setting up local manufacturing. We could also have some restrictive foreign investment policies, and this again will have a higher price, so the market will be somehow different to what we could know today. Then we have, and that's the case unfortunately also we can see today, and somebody that was before me spoke about it, economic nationalism and favoritism. So this deglobalization could coincide very often with policies favoring domestic business, subsidies, tax breaks, or professional treatment in government contracts, for example. This brings also to a reduced global supply chain efficiency. And last but not least, there is also a point that relates to cultural and political resistance. So we can say that it could, unfortunately, the globalization can encourage a cultural shift, and this will bring again some problems. Some cases that already occur, for example, was the trade wars. I can just mention the one within the United States and China, higher tariffs from both the countries, or the Brexit more recently. So we have seen that with the UK exit, we had new customs and regulatory hurdles. So it will give problems indeed. But, and I leave you to the other question.
Yes, in the spirit of these possible barriers and these new challenges to enter new markets, do you believe the European companies will be focusing more on functioning within their direct vital space, such as the Euromed, for example, in order to be able to overcome these?
Yes, it's. I mean, that's what I would like to carry on. So that's the good question and the good moment. For example, if you take the Italian Chamber of Commerce abroad, because I'm the chairman of the Luxembourgish Italian Chamber, recently we made a remake because we work all together for geographical area, and we used to have European Chamber of Commerce and Mediterranean Chamber of Commerce. The Mediterranean Chamber of Commerce were basically in North Africa. Nowadays, from I think 2 or 3 years, we decided to have just one area, that is Europe and Mediterranean. Why? Because indeed, I think that all the European companies, so also the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Europe and Mediterranean area, will have some good opportunities from the globalization. We have the proximity and trade facilitation. So the nearshoring, improved logistics. For what is concerning, for example, some of this area, we have some economic and political integration efforts. So also European Union has long sought to foster closer ties with Mediterranean countries, and we are carrying on this. There are some bilateral trade agreements, and it will bring necessary to strengthen economic cooperation, to promote stability in the region, what we need absolutely, and it will support also digital and green transaction. That is very important between the priorities of Europe. Then we can share challenges and opportunities. Think, for example, to all the renewable energy. For solar energy, that the production in the Mediterranean area is very, very high. And for what is concerning also agriculture and food security. So, and I think it will be really, we can take from de-globalization that at the end we have seen before, it's not really a good things worldwide, but we can take it for Europe and for Mediterranean countries. There will be some challenges, but it will be very, very good for us. Especially, for example, because we are central now in Italy, we can imagine Italy like an aircraft carrier just in the Mediterranean, and Italy will have this role to support a passage between Europe, northern part of Europe, and the Mediterranean countries. And I think it will be important, and we will see some good opportunities for all Europe.
Thank you, Mr. Morvilli, for this interesting intervention. In fact, the matter of competition and the raised barriers to entry to foreign markets is probably one of the most important concerns and problems of de-globalization, especially in a time where most businesses are looking internationally and most funds and capital markets are being internationalized. So a reverse of the trend will definitely have some steep impacts. So thank you so much for your insights.
You're welcome.
No,